When we start growing and I start to hire people and we start to have some reputation on the market, I was thinking, hey, I want to have some cool name. We'll go through the same process I went back in the days to come up with the name Flowium. People will not buy your product or services because of your name. People will use your product or service because it's cool product or service, and they will remember the names. The same thing with Klaviyo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Email Einstein, the podcast by Flowium. We are your hosts, Vira Sadlak
And Andriy Boychuk.
And today we have yet another episode of our series about Andriy starting his own business.
Yeah, because
Say something, Andriy.
Yeah, say something.
It's your business.
Like, oh wow, starting a new business. To start something from scratch is like exciting, but at the same time, it's scary because you need to go through. No, I'm older, I'm wiser, so probably I'll not repeat the same mistakes. But still, it's like scary, exciting.
It's a journey. Let's just put it this way. But today we're actually going to be talking about the exciting part of starting a business. For me, at least, I think it's such a fun part. Today we'll be talking about picking the name for your business. Your business name is arguably one of the most important branding and marketing tools you have at your disposal. And obviously it's super important. Obviously you should like it. Other people should like it too. And a strong, memorable business name can help you build like a strong brand identity. And that's exactly what we will be talking today. I will be talking about 11 things to consider when picking the business name. And actually today, possibly we will be brainstorming some business names for Andriy's business. So it's going to be like a live thing.
And actually, I want to keep you listening to the end because there's not 11, but there will be one bonus, 12 thing that I did not think about it. And I was almost put out of business because I did not check that thing. And stay tuned to number 12 to know what I'm talking about.
You get me hooked, Andriy. You get me hooked. I'm like, I'm staying for sure.
Yeah, I'm bad. I'm bad with those hooks, but I'm learning.
No, you're getting better and better. Do you want to start from like a story time of how you came up with a name for your existing brand, Flowium, and what was before that?
Come on, you said when we rename it, you're the first one. I believe said like, why did you rename it? That you had such a cool name before.
I liked it. I mean, it was very descriptive, but give people some background.
Sure. As I always said, I did not plan to start a business. I did not plan to have an agency. At that moment when I come up with that original name, I didn't know the agency business model even existed. So I was so new to this. So I live at that time, and right now I live in New York, but NYC was a cool acronym that almost anybody know in the world. And I was doing email marketing. So I put 2+2, email marketing, NYC, domain was available. And here you go. This is a business name. So, yeah.
So the original was email marketing NYC. And actually, I'm still using it to log into like the T-sheets and something. Emailmarketingnyc.com. The longest business name ever, but it was like so descriptive. People knew exactly what we were doing. People knew exactly where we are from. It was almost too descriptive.
Do you remember that Klaviyo event we went together? Yeah. Like, like when you meet like new people, the typical icebreaker, hey, where are you from? or what are you doing? And when people read our badges, there were no icebreaker. It was a hard time to get to ask us something generic.
Yeah, how is the weather? It was almost too descriptive. But then you decided to rebrand. What was the thinking behind like rebranding? Why did you decide to change the name from like Email Marketing NYC to Flowium?
From the beginning. So first I came up with that name just to register a domain. So I have a website to look legit. And I didn't plan to start any kind of business like we have today. But when we start growing and I start to hire people and we start to have some reputation on the market, I was thinking, hey, I want to have some cool name, not email marketing NYC, which was in my head not cool. So I start to think about different kind of names, and we'll go through the same process. I went back in the days to come up with the name Flowium.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about step number one. So number
But
one,
actually,
yeah.
sorry, Vera, but before we start, I want to also give some social proof, how we say it. There are few people already, 4 businesses that I know in my close network who went through the same process and already named their business. Actually, 2 are still in the process of naming, but 2 already picked the name and named their organization using the same framework we'll be going over. And also, during this podcast, we'll be brainstorming the name for the new e-commerce store that I'm starting. Not sure what to expect here, but let's throw
Yeah.
ideas, Vera, if you have any.
Cool. Let's do this. But let's start from the step number one. When you're thinking about your business name, it's super important to make sure that there is still a domain available for the name. And obviously, it's a very important thing. Ideally, you'd still want to get something with .com, but it can be very challenging with those like generic names or like semi-generic names. And that's where your creativity comes into the picture. So yeah, Andriy, why
I
is
I
yeah?
I
Go.
personally believe, sorry, my personal belief, if it's not .com, it does not exist for me. Like I don't. You can sell me any apple.co and I will never buy that domain because in my eyes, again, it's personal preference.
Right.
It's personal preference, but I need to have .com. This is
Yeah.
kind of the bare minimum for me.
Yeah, I am on the same page with you. We spent a lot of money to purchase fungoose.com. I know it's not
How
like
much,
super.
if you
Well,
don't mind?
for us back then, like 5 years ago or 4 years ago when we purchased, it was something like around $7,000, I think. So it
Really?
was like
Oh
a lot of
wow!
money for us. Yes, yes, because it's like super generic, right? Fun and goose, and you like literally there's like no changes
And
in the
you just made
spelling.
fun of me purchasing Coldium for $1,000?
Listen, Andriy, when we purchased Fungus, and for those of you who don't know what me and my husband, we have a business. We do like Fungus started actually as a mushroom business. We were selling mushroom gummies. That's why it was like super witty and smart idea to use the Fungus as sort of like a name for our business because Fungus sounds like fungus, like mushroom, but at the same time, it's like a fun goose, like an animal. So it's a play of words, and we oh Andriy, okay, well, thank you so
Let's do
much.
some shout out to Vera and her amazing work with her husband.
Yeah, I mean, we changed it ever since we started the business. We like expanded. Now we're selling like books and stuff, and now that like fungoose, that animal actually became like a symbol of our business, and we have this like fungoose, like that guy in each and every story that we have. So yeah, so that's my story of how I spent a lot of money on something ending with like .com. So yeah, so if you still can get something with .com, I would recommend going for it, honestly.
Before we continue about .com, can I give you one advice about email marketing?
Please, please do.
No, I saw this opt-in method recently about some brand, and they said, "Hey, sign up for our newsletter and toilet jokes." In your case, I would say subscribe to our email and some dad's jokes. I would sign up for dad's jokes like right away.
Or jokes about geese, right?
Yeah, or geeses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but for me, it's a deal. Like if .com is not available, I will not buy.
Well, I mean, that's Andrew's preference, right? If you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, yeah. Of course,
like,
everything that we'll be describing here today, this is kind of best practice. But again, you don't have to have those 12 things. You can pick only 8. But this is kind of the best practices I have, or you might have even
right.
20.
But don't let the .com thing stop you from creating a business. Like honestly, it's important, but in my opinion, not like as important. So I don't know. You do you, boo. But I spend a lot of money on .com, just saying. So number 2, make your business name unique, unforgettable, and catchy. Just like email marketing NYC, right, Andriy?
Yeah, it sounds easier than you think. I mean, we can say like you can call your company, let's say Banana. But if you have banana.com, it's an amazing domain, but you will be competing with all banana companies, banana products, anything banana related, you will be
Really,
competing on
Andriy?
internet.
You think so, right?
Why?
Just Google Apple. You won't find any apples on the first like 5 pages, just like
Okay, so-
apple.com.
Okay, I wish you to be as big as Apple
That's true.
with your banana brand, and anything you type in, you will be on the first pages.
Yeah, I
But
see what you're saying.
let's say pick a letter for climbing. Like if you have the company name Letter, yes, it will give you SEO ranking, but it would be hard for you to compete. And something unforgettable like Flowium. I'm kidding.
No, it's actually a really good name.
So for me, the next step after I get the domain, I enter that email, not the domain, sorry, that name, not without .com. I'm putting in Google, and I want to see how many searches are there, how many pages of searches. So if I see like 10, 15 pages, I need to do some work to compete with other brands. But if I put in and I see only one page, it's easier to compete with others. I know the person from Single Grain, Eric Sue, he has a marketing agency as well. But Single Grain, it's about Scottish whiskey, because multigrain and multigrain and single grain whiskey. So he said he got a lot of traffic, people searching for whiskey and mass marketing services. So think about how you name your company as well. If it's
That's a cool idea. I never thought about like searching for how many like searches are there. I just typed in fungus, and I'm not doing a lot SEO speaking so far, but we are like number 4, I think, on the search page. But that's just because we are like fungus.com, right? And we have like an Amazon listing and website and stuff. But I never thought about that like generic aspect, you know?
They don't, for some reasons, they don't show anymore how many words are there. It's just continuous loading.
What do you mean?
Does it show you how many Fungoose pages are there? Or
No, it doesn't. It just shows like it doesn't show the number of pages. I wonder why. Maybe it's like super generic. That's why. I don't know.
Okay, the next thing is about avoiding unusual spelling, or how to hard to pronounce and commonly misleading words. So can you come up with some ideas here?
I actually have a story about it, and it's about the Amazon. Do you remember the story of how like Amazon started and what was their original name? Or
no, I don't.
For those of you guys who don't know, it's like such a famous story. Basically, when Bezos first created the company, and it was like, I don't know, like early 90s, right? Sometimes like before the internet was a big thing. It was like a book company. And when Bezos created the company, the name was Cadabra, like abracadabra. So the name of the company was Cadabra. But when he actually called to his lawyer, and lawyer on the phone, he heard not cadabra, but cadaver or cadaver. I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically it means the dead body. So cadabra, cadaver, cadavra. It sounds very similar when you just like don't see this word written. So he didn't hear the cadabra, he heard like the dead body, which made Bezos think, and he decided to rename his company. But this time, he actually decided to name a company that would start with like letter A, because back in like 1994, in the pre-Google world, people used alphabetical web directories to find new websites. And for Bezos, it was like super important to be on the first page, right? That's how he came up with the name Amazon. And Amazon, it's like super easy to spell, easy to remember. It's such a short and memorable domain name. I love that. I loved it. Yeah.
And I just came up with the idea how to test your name. If you live in US or anywhere close to Starbucks, go to Starbucks and if they ask you what is your name, tell them this name and see if they spell it correctly. So it's probably
I
the
love
easiest.
I love this idea.
Because when I say my name, nobody got it right in terms of spelling my first
Really?
name. Yeah.
What did they write?
Some
Andrei?
person wrote John. Know how they come up with.
I think they're actually just having fun. Honestly, I have this theory that they're just there having fun mispronouncing people's name.
In the past, we used to have a competitor. They were sold to bigger agency called SmartBog, but the agency was called Worst eCommerce, Worst Commerce. And even for me, like because I have a heavy accent, it's people hearing worst, like the worst, like hearing
Right.
the worst. But I'm trying to say worth, like something that worth, and
This is like the worst
are you
name
getting?
ever. Yes.
But you're getting the
Of course.
point. So when you're picking up the name, it's extremely important to get that thing right.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a terrible name for a marketing agency. I think it's like clever in some ways because it's like a conversation starter almost, but that's definitely not a message that you want to send. Are they still in business? Do you know, Andriy?
No, they were acquired by SmartBug.
So the worst emails don't exist anymore, or worth
No,
agency?
no.
Good for them, I guess. It's my
Yeah.
opinion, but
And
cool.
actually, it goes to the second point that the second criteria is about pronunciation.
Oh yeah, pronunciation is a huge thing. Some things that are like super easy for me to pronounce as a Ukrainian speaker, like a lot of American speakers or English speakers are like struggling with it. So I know some people are changing their names and stuff like that. And actually, do you remember the story about like Lululemon and how they came up with a name and how it was like very difficult to pronounce for Japanese market?
I think I read in the book, and also I think you told me again, but I don't remember.
Yeah, so basically when the guy, gosh, I forgot his name. Andrew, what was his name? My goodness, it's so embarrassing.
Chip Wilson?
Chip Wilson, yes. Sorry, Chip, we're almost neighbors, but yet I don't remember your name. So when Chip Wilson came up with an idea for Lululemon, obviously he didn't have the name back then. He already knew that his biggest market would be like Japanese market because they were like obsessed with all of the American, Canadian brands, and he had a big experience with like Japanese market before launching Lululemon with his other brand. But he wanted to create something that would sound super American or super Canadian, and apparently in Japanese language they don't have letter L. So whenever they see letter L, it sounds like ru for them. So they can't say Lululemon; they would pronounce it as Ruru Ramen. No, seriously. If I'm mistaken, please correct me, Japanese speakers. But for them, like if the company has like else, it means that the company is like truly like American or truly Canadian. So this is something like super Western because there is not many brands in Japanese markets that had that L. So Chip Wilson came up with a name that had like the most L's ever, Lululemon. So yeah, so that's a story.
Nice.
But yeah.
Klaviyo created cool clip where they were telling in a video how their name was mispronounced.
Yeah, people are having hard time with like pronouncing Klaviyo. I heard Klaviyo, Clavayo, what else? Klaviyo, like all kinds of variations. But I mean, it doesn't prevent them from being one of the coolest email marketing platforms on the market. But it's just like fun thing to know about.
Listen,
them.
At the end of the day, name does not like. People will not buy your product or services because of your name. People will use your product or service because it's cool product or service, and they will remember the names. The same thing with Klaviyo.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Just pick a word and make it cool. Pick a name and make it cool. Lululemon didn't mean anything until they became this like huge badass company.
Flowium is.
Flowium either, right? I can see people wearing Flowium t-shirts all over the world in like few years.
Do
It's
you
gonna
mean like
be
I'm
big.
wearing Flowium t-shirt and traveling all over the world?
Yeah, pretty much. Cool. Okay, next thing to consider, find a name that has almost no Google matches. You kind of covered
We
that, Andrew,
yeah, we
right?
covered about in a unique section. We combined it together. So let's move on.
Cool. Check if the name is available for incorporation. Yeah, we're getting technical here. Why is it important, Andri?
Yeah, like each state, sorry, depends where you live. And I'm talking right now only about US. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you any advice, but this is the recommendations. If you want to register, before you name the company, you want to go to your state website, corporation website, and check if the name is available. Because if it's not available, let's say if you want to register Flowium in New York State, it's not available because we have a name of Flowium here in New York State.
Right. Yeah, definitely seek some legal advice from someone more knowledgeable than us, but that's just like something that is important to consider. Okay, the next one, keep it under 12 characters. I love
Yeah,
it.
so I read
love
this
one.
book by Dan Norris. He is the founder of company WP Curve. It was a subscription service for supporting WordPress websites. They were acquired by GoDaddy for $1 million, and he wrote this book. And in one section of this book, he was talking about the name. And what his study observation was that all the biggest brands in the world, all their names are under 12 characters. Even I was giving, I was thinking about Federal Express. We all know FedEx, but they used to be called Federal Express. But
Oh,
they
I didn't know
made
that.
their name much smaller, which is FedEx.
Same with IBM, right?
Yeah,
International Business Machine. Like I've never even knew that it was their name. I only know them by IBM. Yeah, smart, smart. Okay, the next one is tricky. Check the name's meaning in different languages. It's a tricky one because so many languages, so many meanings. But if you plan to be an international company, or if you like envision this in the future, you better check the meaning of your name.
so I think Google will help us here. So if you put that thing in Google, you want to see what kind of results you will get. Like for example, for Ukrainian, we use Cyrillic, so it will not help you much, but it's not as important. But anything for hold on, we use Cyrillic, and in English, how it's called? Latin.
Latin
Yeah.
words or
So
characters.
any languages that use Latin letters, it's important because you don't want to call your company as something abstract and in another word language it's a curse word. So
That's
you don't
actually
want to
the
do that.
reason why they don't have Mitsubishi Pajero in Spanish-speaking countries. Yeah,
Oh,
because
really?
it's a really rude, really bad word, and yeah, you
Oh,
can Google
wow.
it. Not gonna explain what it means, but yeah, they basically they name it something else in like Latin America. It's Mitsubishi, whatever, Mitsubishi something. Okay, so the next point is kind of like a no-brainer one. Make sure you like it. And I
Yeah.
don't even know if we need to add anything here. It's so self explanatory, but yet so important.
Also, I read, I used to be upset with Seth Godin blog, and on his blog he said, when you rename your company, and it happened to us as well, so he kind of knew what he's talking about. When you rename your company, people will hate it. People will hate your new name, so it's important for you to like it. But the next phase, people will like it so much that they will forget that you used to have different name before.
Interesting. I don't remember hating Flowium, but I was like so emotionally attached to email marketing NYC for some reason. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
we'll be talking about this process. I have a spreadsheet, a calculator where I apply numbers to each value, like if it's available for on the Google. So I do this. I have a snapshot here, I believe. So the names I came up with, it was Flovio, Flovni, like brownie, but Flovni,
I love that.
Flowsby, 1 2 3 campaigns, Flow Point, Backflow. Backflow, it's like sewer company. Single flow, active flow, flow 12, and active flows.
Okay. I mean, there are some strong competitors, I'd say. Flowny
Flowny.
is it's my favorite. Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
But I actually am like so happy you like decided to pick the Flowium. It has that feel of something extra luxurious, like right, like platinum or like Flowium, something like.
Yeah, and I'll explain you later. There's three technique how to kind of come up with those unique names, and I'll explain you which technique I use to come up with Flowium. Want to discover how much money your email marketing can actually bring you? If that's the case, let our team of email marketing experts show you how. With our free email marketing audit, we'll conduct a comprehensive analysis of your email marketing efforts, provide you with an action plan, and show you how to effectively segment and convert your audience. Simply go to flowium.com/audit and book your audit today.
Let's just quickly go through the last 2 points. Don't include location in the name. Why, Andriy? Why not including location?
The same thing with email marketing in Must See. People were constantly asking me if we do business only in New York or are we able to serve our companies in other states. And I'm like, after I came up with this name, I never thought about that. But when they were asking me, I'm like, oh, hold on, it's causing some issues.
Yeah, I don't know. I like when people adding like cities in the names. Like a lot of fashion company add Paris to them, right? Or like some people add London, or some like fancy design groups add Stockholm. It's just like represents almost like the values or like the lifestyle that you want to project. But with service company, I can see how it can be a problem.
So there's two things that happen. First, what I just explained, people were asking if I'm doing service in other cities and states. And second, people from New York City was making fun because I live on Staten Island and my office is on Staten Island. So I have nothing to do with New York City. So they make fun of me being from a village, but presenting I'm like in the city.
Okay, yeah, I see. That's funny. That's how I always tell people when I used to live in Vancouver. I'm like, I'm from Vancouver. No, I'm 40 minutes drive from Vancouver, but it's just like so much easier to explain to people where I live. Okay, and the last one, include a clue about what you do. I would disagree that this is like, it's like so optional. Like it would be hard for me to probably like remember a brand that I like that is like a fashion brand or something that has a clue of what they are doing. But
it's like Pooperine.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's a good example. Cool. Okay, Andriy. Now let's go to the secret sauce. 4 resources for naming your company. What resources do you use? What resources you recommend using? And let's just brainstorm.
Actually,
some ideas.
Before we go about resources, we forgot to do the bonus one. And I'm excited, and I'm extremely excited to share something.
Let's go.
So a year ago on Google, I start to see Flowium on other people's advertising. So somebody typing Flowium on the email marketing, people were using our name to advertise their services. And I'm like, whoa, I had a heart attack. Not as a keyword, but in their ads.
Okay.
Yes, like Flowium email design, blah, 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 and their service.
Okay, that's a fame.
Yeah, and I had a heart attack. I put the thing on LinkedIn. People like supported me, say, yeah, it's like messed up and so forth. So I contacted Google, blah, blah, and I realized that I need to have a trademark to take down those companies. And when I start to learn more and more about trademarks, I realize that anybody on the street can register under Flowium and
Pretty much.
knock on my door and say, I'm sorry, but you cannot use that name anymore.
Pretty much.
And I was worried, but I'm excited to share that we registered our trademark and we got approved. So
Wow,
we
yay.
now, so now we do have a trademark, and it's extremely important for you, maybe not to register because it's cost some money, but at least check that there's nobody there.
And
with
then
that name.
register. Because if you're a big dog, someone would definitely want to purchase that trademark. That's actually a very popular technique of how it's very popular in Germany for some reason, how they get businesses out of business, get this like Amazon listings out of business and stuff like that. There are some like black hat techniques with that, like trademark and stuff.
So, I mean, there's nobody in my kind of preview who kind of cross our roads. But I have a friend who kind of was working for my friend, and left, quit, and opened exactly the same company using exactly
Crazy.
the same name. And instead of beginning green, he used blue. So,
Okay.
and he's servicing the same area. So you see the conflict that people like, because the unique is a second part of the name. But the first part, it was just a color.
Wow.
I don't want to name the company name because somebody will go and register. And he doesn't have a trademark. And what I recommended, I said, go and register and then contact that guy and say, sorry, but you cannot use it because it's a conflict. So it's extremely, as a bonus number 12, extremely important to go to US trademark. It's free. Just go and search if it's available or not.
Okay, awesome. So 4 resources for naming your company. Are these resources that you, Andriy, used when coming up with names for your brand?
Yes. I used all of them, but what helped me, number 3, to get Flowium and other domains. First of them is Wordoid. How you say it? Wordoid.
Wordoid.
So I'm sharing my screen. If you are on YouTube, if you are listening podcast, strongly recommend to watch this section because I'll show you and demonstrate how it works, and it's a very cool tool. So first of all, it's you pick the language in which you want to have a name. So if you use Spanish, we will not use that. What the name?
Mitsubishi Pajero.
Pajero. We'll not use Pajero.
No.
Yeah. And quality, like high, medium, low, I typically pick high. And where that words that you want, let's say you have bananas to give me a word, some short word or something that you...
If it's for skincare, let's go with something like glow. Something glow, like skin. Glowy skin is like a...
Perfect. So glow, I love it. Glowium, you mean?
Glowium, yes. just check Glowium and we are done. And this podcast is over.
Inside story, like, because you don't know, Vira is always teasing me about IUM and anything that. If Vira wants to tease me, she always add IUM to anything that she's talking to me about. So glow. And now we want to pick how many characters and we want this glow to be at the beginning of the sentence, ending, or containing. So it can be somewhere in the middle. So let's do...
Can we do multiple? Like, can we do the beginning? Okay. Containing.
It's a limitation. Yeah.
Let's do containing.
Okay, let's do
containing.
It
doesn't matter where it is. Yeah.
And let's do length.
Okay.
And its glow is 4 letters, and how many more we want to add. So if we add 3 IUM, so 7.
No, let's do more. So it gives us more options. Like, let's do like extra 8. So we like up to 12.
You mean up? Whoa. I wouldn't buy that kind of name, but anyway.
Okay. I have a name. I have a name for your company. I think we're done. Andriy and Glow. Boom, we're done. That's it.
Andriy's glow.
Yeah, that's it. That's an idea too.
And there's option in terms of domain. This goes back to the first characteristic: show all or show available only. But available only if we search, let's do create a word, and it will give us different variation. But it doesn't mean that that domain is for $12. Sometimes they give you option for $30,000. It's available for sale, but it costs $30,000.
Right.
Glowly.
Love that. Love that for you.
And glowing. And glowing.
And glowing, actually, I like it. And glowing, but it's just
Really?
like, it's like, but you don't, if it's like end, like an end of something, or end as a word that connects to words, glow pieces. And these are all the .coms, or?
Yes, you see just
Oh,
.coms.
wow.
Yeah. So basically, it's an extremely cool tool to use to look for any. Oh,
Wow.
I actually picked two. I picked Spanish as well. So let's do something a little bit harder. Let's do 7, because I don't like unglowed, leg lows, leg glows, glowing. Glowing.
Glowing. I like glowing. It's not very appropriate for like a skincare.
Yeah, but you see, $9,000.
Do you know what it means? Does it have like a meaning?
Glowing.
Yeah, because
Sure.
it sounds like it should be a word like this. It sounds so organic.
It's wrongly spelled Halloween.
Yeah, that was my association actually too. So I don't know if it's like the best. It's a cool name for some like other brand, like kids brand, or like costume brands or something.
A glower.
A glower. Good one.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably also
like,
expensive.
A glower is someone who...
Actually, I might buy this one just for fun.
Wait, but I don't know if what about glower.com? Yeah, probably taken. Because glower is someone who glows, right?
No, for $15,000 available.
Okay, I don't think I like it that much. Not like $15,000 good. It's good, but not.
Vera, maybe...
I really like...
So maybe we'll sell Fungoose and Flowium and chip in to buy a glower together?
Glower, sure. I really like when this... when like skincare brands and stuff, when they like connect two short words with like and, like Grace and Stella, Luma and Leaf, something and something and glow, I think would be cool. Maybe. Anyways, we don't have to like decide, or we don't have to stop on glow. This was just an example.
Yeah, I mean, we let's continue looking for some to use other resources, but this is just an example of a tool you can use to come up with different names. So the next
tool.
The next thing is Indiemaker. It's basically a website where people sell they used to be called 1K project. So all projects were selling from under $1,000. But right now you can buy any side hustle that people were building, like some SaaS, some FBA, some eCommerce, and selling here for like sometimes for $100, sometimes for a few $1,000s.
Okay, so it's like a business marketplace almost.
Yes, yes, but here they have a section for domains, and you can filter. But for some reason, it does not work. But basically, in there's domain, and there's hold on, let me just type a domain. As you can see, some vintage retro cars, like domains. So you can look for New York parking rates, domain comparison website. So there's different domains here for sale, or maybe there are some other marketplaces where you can buy domains. Okay, the third option, this is where I bought Flowium originally. It's at the domain auction. I use GoDaddy for auction, and it was there, and I paid placed a bid for $250, and they accepted. So I purchased Flowium for $250. Originally, they were planning to create some kind of SaaS.
Wow, interesting. Is that function when you like some domain and they say that for $50 they can like reach out to the owner, or it's something else?
No, something else. I use it. I use a service that you're talking about, the brokerage. I use that. In many cases, this was not successful. Either they wanted too much. I was trying to purchase automatable. Why are you always making fun of
No,
my
it's.
names?
I just love that it always have to be IUM. I love that. It's a part of your brand, Andriy.
Yeah, Andrium.
Cool. Andriy, have you purchased it yet?
No.
You should.
No. So that is brokerage. Actually, it's another way you can try. Maybe person does not use that domain and go
But they
daily for
can't promise you
$60.
anything, right?
No, but if they don't find, you can. I ask for refund and they return me money.
Okay.
And the last thing is flip through dictionary. Take physical dictionary. Don't. I know it's an old way, but did you know that Uber means something? Because I didn't.
Yes. Yeah,
But
I did know, but it's like a German word, I think. But yeah, that's actually
No,
a
it's
cool
not.
example.
It's
Uber is
not.
something like super big, is something like bigger than something like humongous and big, I think.
Over beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over beyond. And this is just on your free time, take the big book of dictionary and flip through the pages and pick the words which are not commonly used, but you like and easy to pronounce and like match all the other characteristics.
Or just have a session with ChatGPT to get some inspiration,
Uh,
actually.
I almost broke my computer when ChatGPT was giving me answers for this words.
Really? Yeah. I don't know. I use it definitely as an inspiration tool almost. If you are given it like really good directions, it can be super helpful. But
Okay,
actually, today I have a funny one. I was like
Go
trying
ahead.
to come up with an idea for your brand, and I said, like it's a skincare brand. It's from Ukraine, so it has to be something like Ukrainian, but also maybe like use a part of Ukrainian name and maybe use some like Ukrainian word. And it actually came up with the it's stupid. Came up with the name Vyshivanka Vitali. I'm like, what? For those of you who don't know, it's like Vyshivanka. It's like a traditional Ukrainian dress or like the shirt, and Vitali is like the man name, very commonly
Yeah,
used in Ukraine.
it's
So
like
it's like so random.
It's like T-shirt John.
Pretty much. So ChatGPT didn't do a very good job, but yet I like the direction, like I can give him brownie points for that.
Okay, so three techniques to create a business name for your company, and one of them I use myself. So take the main words of your company and add one of those ending. It's Lyfyium, Ifyiyo. And I'll give you a few examples. By the way, this is how I come up with Flowium. So I knew that I want to have a flow in my name. That's why I was coming up with Flowny, Flovio, and so forth. But I was at the conference and there were a company presenting called Buildium. So like Buildium, like building, and IUM, it was property management company. And I'm like, oh, wow, IUM. And I'm like, how about Flowium? And this is how I came up with the name. It was in Orlando, Florida. So like Shopify, ending at FY, Sortly, ending at LY. So any name you like Google right now or like go to GoDaddy, probably all domains are bought with those extensions, but still you can come up with something. Cabify is alternative to Uber.
I feel like this IFY, or like Cabify, Shopify, they almost have reputation of like something like tech businesses. Like so many apps right now with like IFY and stuff like that. But that's a cool actually way of thinking about it. I never thought about this like formula. Cool.
So the next one is to combining two words, two short words. What you just said about using and, but you can use two a word to give more meaning. Let's say DoorDash MailChimp, Active Campaign.
It's just we have like I have one more story. You know this. What's the name? There is DoorDash and there is something with the dishes. Something dishes. Like,
Okay.
but I don't I can't remember this. It's probably like a bad branding because I call it drop the dishes, but it's not drop the dishes. It's something else. Skip the dishes. It's skip the dishes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, good idea, good branding. It just doesn't work for me. I always call it drop the dishes for some reason. So yeah, DoorDash. I love DoorDash and MailChimp. Cool, like really cool names. I probably like this is the strategy or technique I would go with for you.
Yeah. And the last thing, again, like very similar to what I just said, how I came up with Flowium, keep your eyes open when you're walking street, driving, listening, see how other company name their brands and get the inspiration from them. So, you know, Ezra Firestone from Smart Marketer, he named his company Zipify. It's something very simple. It's an app for Shopify. Zipify app for Shopify. Back in 2019, me and Vira were working in Boston for Klaviyo 2019 event, and I presented to Vira idea of Flowio. Vira didn't like it because it's like she said it's very too close to Klaviyo, and I said like, but Zipify and Shopify is similar. It's like, okay, makes sense, but I still don't like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't
Vira
like it. It almost like limits you to working only with Klaviyo, right? And what if something happens with Klaviyo? What if they, I don't know, just go broke or whatever? Things happen. So
yeah.
I like our current name though. So you did an amazing job,
Thank
Andriy.
you. No, but listen, without you giving me a hard time, I couldn't come up with such a great name.
You're welcome, Andriy. Anytime.
Thank you. And the last thing, I just want to share a snapshot from that old times when I came up with the name. So I created this kind of table. Yeah, I created this kind of table. In the first column, it was all potential names. And I use those criteria that we described it today and rated between 1 to 10. And at the end, it gave me a score. I don't think Flowium was not there. So when I come up with Flowium, I forgot about this table because Flowium was the one. But basically, you can use this table to brainstorm your ideas. And as you can see, I was like fixing numbers and thinking about it.
I like Flowsby. It's so fun. Flowny,
like
Flowsby. Yeah, fun. It's a really fun name.
Flowsby. But just imagine somebody to spell it.
And to pronounce it too. It's challenging. Yeah.
Like sometimes people like flip the W in our company called Flowium. Not Flowium, but yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard recently new one, Flopium or something with P, but yeah.
Wow.
I don't know where they came up with P.
That's a new one. There is like this whole meme about like men can't pronounce Valentine's Day. Like a lot of people say Valentine's Day, like not Valentine's, but Valentine's. So that's like the same thing. But what are your ideas about the new company? Like, were you thinking about like potential names? Anything that stood out to you?
So you said about your kind of keywords. Your idea was about glow. My idea was about bloom. I don't know why.
Ooh, I like the bloom one. But there is actually a company, the skincare company, that literally calls bloom. So be careful if you don't want to.
Yeah, I didn't mean to call it like put bloom. Maybe Bloomium, but no, but as to play from that perspective. But basically, I will use some of popular keywords about presenting something fresh, blooming, growing. No, growing is probably the wrong word, and I'll play with that.
It doesn't even have to be this way. Do you know what is like number one most popular skincare sunscreen on Sephora? It's called Drunk Elephant. It has nothing to do with like with skincare. It has like nothing to do, but yet you like remember it, right? Or like Ordinary. I mean, Ordinary does not say a lot about what this product is about or what it's gonna change or
I
something
like
like that.
brand. It's something about cosmetics, or it's not only skincare, a routine, I believe. But I love their name.
Rituals, you mean?
Ritual, not routine. Rituals,
Yeah, yeah.
ritual.
Do you
Like
guys
I
have it in
love.
the States? Because we don't have it in Canada yet.
Yeah, I think I
It's
ritual.
it's actually French brand, but their entire branding is very like Japanese. So they have this like Japanese symbols on the brand, and I love this. I love their product. I love their branding. They made boring products fun again. They're selling like shower gels and stuff like that. And I love their branding. Yeah, rituals.
So here's a just quick update what's going on right now. So the company that I hired for Etsy, they almost done next week. They will be done with the audit. So basically, they will pick close to 10, probably 10 products. Oh, sorry, we already picked 10 products. They auditing and how to present it to the market, like in terms of description, what to say on the packages, and so forth. So this, after they deliver the audit, next step would be either to sell it in the original package, so change nothing, and just to start selling, which is my way of doing things. And then if it starts selling well, and then I will start investing time in creating the name and buying the name, registering the
And
name.
their original packaging is amazing. And their branding is so cool. And I love like the name of the business, but you said you had some like issues with like
Yeah, the,
using
like
that name.
right now, like 5 or 6 trademarks registered in US, and I
Right.
mean, we're talking about like big pharmaceuticals who has a deep pockets to go after you. So hard to
Yeah.
compete.
One name that I had, okay, it's ChatGPT generated it, but I liked it.
Let's
It
do
was
it.
Renewa,
Vyshivanka
something
Oksana.
like renewable, Renewa, but it's like very hard to pronounce. Or it can be something like, actually, you know that kohana.com is still available,
Really? With
but
which
like
which?
with KH. So it's like a
Ah,
Ukrainian spelling. Yeah, with H1 is not available. Kohana in Ukrainian, it means my love. So it's a beautiful name for like a skincare, I think. That
oh, there's a coffee company, Kohana. Oh, but it's you know what it is?
yeah.
Kohana. It's something about Hawaii. I think there's
Oh, maybe it's actually when you said it, it sounds actually Hawaiian. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like mixing some like Ukrainian or like
wow. But I
yeah.
think that they have. I think they have. They probably have a trademark already registered. If the name Kohana is primarily a female name of Japanese origins that means little flower. So cool.
Beautiful. So
But I'll
cool.
buy domain anyway.
Yeah.
Just don't buy it, Vera, please.
Let's do this. I have my credit card connected to GoDaddy, you know. It's my little hobby too. But yeah, I mean, I was just like thinking of like using that like Ukrainian origin because like our language is like so melodic and so beautiful.
No, it's not available.
No,
Maybe I
with
misspelled it.
KH, ko
Ah,
KH.
no.
It's a difficult spelling, yeah. So maybe something like Ukrainian, like Lana and Spring, or like Mila and Spring, or something, because the whole brand is like around like spring and renewal and like glowing and stuff like that. Or Vyshivanka Vitali. You can always you can always go with that one. It's so
I'm
random.
just curious how many people finished listening to this episode. We just
I
had
don't
fun
know.
today. If you're still listening, thank you very much for listening. We had fun. I hope you have fun. You know what? Sometimes I listen our podcast just to like your and mine, where we laughing a lot, just to pick up my mood, because when I'm listening, I'm laughing as well.
You're just like laughing at your own jokes. Look at you,
Yeah,
Andriy. The way to go.
that's jokes.
And you guys, if you have some like cool ideas for like a skincare brand name, just like let us know
Oh
in our
wow!
WhatsApp
Thank
channel.
you, Vera.
Or like even under this YouTube videos. Let's do the contest. If Andriy picks your name for his brand, we're gonna send you something.
Sucks.
Maybe
Not skincare. Send you sucks.
not skincare, yeah.
Ah,
Cool. Well,
okay.
thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
listening till the end and staying till the end if you stayed. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Hey, if you're watching this and you like what you see, please hit subscribe and hit the bell because it helps us grow our channel.